Hey guys, we're back at work with another project to do this week. As you can see here, we have Damien Lopez's double championship winning class D Polo that races in the local Clubman series down here in Cape Town. Last race meeting was the last one for last year, and he managed to damage down the whole side here. Spoke to him afterwards. Turns out the drive shaft, or both drive shafts broke coming into a corner. They're still trying to figure out what caused it. But basically he lost drive in the middle of a corner, and the guy behind him then ran into the back of him, which turned him sideways. It rotated him, obviously, the back of the car out to the left, and then that driver managed to careen to the side of the car, which caused all this damage down the side here. So if we take a closer look, it's buckled the fender quite badly, it's catching on the tyre, and obviously the doors are all pushed in here and buckled nicely on the bottom. It's taken the bottom post in a bit, so this door is battling to open and close as well. It's also managed to catch the arch and bend that quite badly, and then there's a bit of rub marks along here, and then obviously where he took the initial hit from behind, actually doesn't look that bad, but yeah, it's some scarring here, and then obviously it's taken the paint off there, slight crack in the what I know is old body filler. I've actually sprayed this car before, so yeah, there's a fair bit of filler on that section over there. So yeah, anyway, so the car's in now. We are going to replace the front fender. We've got a aftermarket one from the local spare shop, and we've managed to find 2 second-hand doors online. Covered in tape and all sorts of weird stuff, so I don't know what's potting there, but anyway, they're straight. That's the main thing. This one's a little bit buckled on the inside, so I'm just worried about fitting the glass, but I'll straighten that out. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. But yeah, anyway, so gonna get cracking on this. Don't know when he's racing it again. I know he's actually overseas at the moment, so not sure when he's racing it again, but anyway, we've got to get the car finished, so when he does come back, the car's good to go. So yeah, anyway, that'll be the project now. So we'll strip down this side. There doesn't seem to be too much frame damage or damage to like the sill and stuff. The main thing is that arch at the back there. The rear fender seems okay. So at this point I'm thinking it's just the rear bumper. It doesn't need any filler work. It'll probably just need to be sanded down and primed, and then a coat of paint. Front fender, we'll have to roll the lip under here, so it doesn't catch on the tire. Obviously all the road cars, there's enough travel, so you don't need to worry about those things. You just take them off, you fit them, you paint them, you fit them, you're good to go. On the race cars, obviously, because they're so lowered, those lips end up cutting into the tires, so we're going to have to roll that lip on there first. The doors they seem to have to be cleaned and then painted, and then obviously everything on here will have to be moved over, the rubbers, the glass, the mirrors. We get to the inside, obviously we've got lightweight panels, you know, minimal accessories obviously for weight. So all those rivets need to be drilled out, the covers need to come off. This cable is actually just the latch to open at the back. The standard handle's been removed. And yeah, the hinges seem to have taken a bit of a hit on both front and back. So the front door still seems to operate alright. This back one seems to have dropped a fair bit, so you've got to give it a sizable slam to get it to close. And then one of the other issues now is obviously on top here, the door is riding over, the front door is riding over the back door here. It's actually taking the paint off, so this door you can see is hanging quite a bit. The one concern I have, I know this car's been on its roof at one point in its life, and I'm worried about the frame of the straight door lying up properly here, because you never know if they've actually fixed the roof correctly. Sometimes they just use the existing panels on it and then they work all to each other and it kind of works, and the moment you put a new panel on, it's totally out. Okay guys, I'm busy with I've done the back door. I just thought I'd stop here quickly and show you. There's captive threads in the door here. So obviously we can't mount the door straight away. So what we've got to do is we've got to loosen up these pins and then obviously move them over. This one's already been shimmed. Obviously the car's been in a bit of a ding once before, and they've shimmed it up to get the door to close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these off, pop them on there like I did on the back door. The back door I've just taken a ratchet strap because I haven't moved the lock mechanism over. So I've just closed with the ratchet strap. This inner paneling here was a bit bowed as well, so I've just obviously used that to pull it straight, and hopefully it stays there now when I release the tension. And that'll allow us to get the glass in here because this car still runs factory glass. So you can see I've moved the pins, they slot in there, and then these ones obviously go in there and there. So yeah, back door's on, it seems to be lying decently, the gap here seems good, but the gap down here is quite tight. Like I said earlier, I know that this fender, a large portion of it is body filler. So whoever worked on the car before has smeared it pretty thick, being a race car and whatnot. So yeah, I'll get the I've got the sliding hammer there. I'll just have to obviously from about that portion there start pulling it out and getting it smooth, and then work it over with a little bit of filler there. But for the most part, damage actually doesn't seem that bad. Okay guys, just a bit of an update. Got the doors on. I was a bit worried about the gaps along here with the car having been rolled previously, but we'll see once we pinch it close where the lock would hold it. It seems pretty decent. So yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised about that. Yeah, got both doors on. Geez, getting tongue tied here. Cleaned off all that tape and parcel packaging stuff that was on here. So it doesn't look too bad. Unfortunately, it's got full of scratches here, so otherwise we could maybe just get away with giving it a polish and leaving it. But it does appear that the shade is a bit out. If you look at the two colors, so yeah, this isn't an original color, whereas I suppose this is. So we won't get away with that, unfortunately. And then yeah, I've got another replacement fender here. I've just got to slot this in on the front, and then yeah, it should look a lot better. Let's see if we can just pop it on here by hand quickly. So yeah. A little bit of massaging and yeah, kind of. But yeah, obviously I'll line that up properly, but yeah, for the most part, we've gotten rid of most of our dents now just by replacing the panels, and then the only thing left, as I said earlier, is that section down there. But yeah, anyway, let me line everything up, make sure that the fender sits where it should. Okay guys, so I've got the fender more or less. It's not bolt, it's only on with like 3 bolts, but it's lining up half decently. So, and the main thing is obviously the depth with the door. And obviously now with it in place, the door opens and closes, there's no catching. So the old fender was always a little bit down here. Like I said, this car's not exactly straight to start with, so we won't get that perfect, but we know about that. So not a train smash there. At this point now, I think I'm gonna take a break for lunch, and then I'm gonna polish up the old fender, and then take it down to the paint shop for a paint sample that they can mix paint while I carry on with the arch and the primers at work. And then hopefully by the time that's all dry and ready to go, the new color's been mixed and ready to go as well, but we don't lose any time on this one. Okay guys, back from the paint shop. They've got the original fender as a sample, so they'll mix up the paint based on that. They said that should be ready for us tomorrow. In the meantime, I want to tackle the signage there, get that off the fender, because obviously we're going to spray the whole fender, and obviously we're spraying the whole side of the car and the rear bumper. So yeah, that'll be the plan of action now. Get the stickers off. Hey guys, so that's the end of today. As you can see, got the doors on, fenders on, cleaned up all the sticker marks, got the rear bumper off, prepped this down for some primer. Tomorrow I want to get cracking on the filler work, so just a little bit of filler down there, and then there's a slight crack in the body filler here, so we'll have to take that down and build it up with filler and primer it up again. I managed to just put a ratchet strap across the roll cage here, and that pulled that leading edge out. Just need to dress that little bit there that it's opened up, so now we can get the window in there. But yeah, the doors line up nicely. The pins are all set, so it's not a heck of a mission to line it up again. You just pull the door out on the pins. Once they're painted, you just drop it back in, and then all the settings are done. So all the hard work is now complete. So yeah, the only thing that's got to still be done is that fender's lip on the inside of the arch has to be rolled. Once that's done, the fender can be sprayed and bolted back up. The doors now, there's no major damage on the doors. There's a bit of scratching over here, which primer will sort out, and there's a slight ding down there. I'm going to have a go at that with the hammer, and it'll actually, primer will probably also sort that out as well. But if it needs a bit of filler, we'll drop a bit of filler in there. That's not a train smash. But yeah, I'm going to call it a day for today. We'll come back tomorrow, get cracking on the filler and the primer. There's another car that I got lying in the back here that also needs a bit of primer. So hopefully I'll just fill the gun once and primer both of them, and that'll save me a bit of time on things there. But anyway, catch you guys back here tomorrow, and we'll get cracking on the filler work and then prepping for paint. The paint should be ready at the paint shop tomorrow because I dropped it off around about lunchtime today. So that's done. So we get the color from them. We've got everything else here. We've got thinners, hardeners, all the rest of that stuff. So once primers and everything are done, we can sand the doors down and get them ready for paint basically. So yeah. Anyway, catch you guys back here tomorrow.